A warm welcome to you. This is Rubbin Minds. My name is Hero Daniels. Ebuka Obiuchindu sends his greetings. It's exactly 13 days to the elections, and trust me, Nigerians are ready to go to the polls and vote for their favorite candidate. It's been a very tough week for Nigerians. In fact, the past 2 weeks have been very tough for Nigerians. From this fuel scarcity to Naira scarcity. It looks like it's getting better because I did notice that the queues are not as long when it comes to getting fuel. But we just hope that the federal government will get on top of this and really just solve this even before the election. The big question on everybody's mind is who is going to be the Messiah? Who is going to be the hero? Which candidates can truly get Nigeria out of the place where we currently are to a place where we ought to be? Which candidate will promote equity, fairness, justice, and most importantly, which candidate has utmost respect for the rule of law? With me in the studio, I have Ababiaka Ahmed, who will be representing the APC. He is a member, Youth Mobilization, APC, PCC. Welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
I also have a very active Nigerian representing the Labour Party, Maureen Kabrick.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I am representing myself, fellow Obedience, and fellow Nigerian citizens who are yearning for a change. I'm not a member of the Labour Party, but I am a Nigerian citizen that desires to see change happen come February 25th, 2023.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so we'll also have people from other political parties join us in the course of the show. But let's get straight into the youth debate. So I'm going to start with Ahmed. We've heard all of the promises that your candidate, keeps telling Nigerians. What is the core objective, or what do you think is the unique selling point of Bola Ahmed Tinubu?
Well, thank you once again for having me. And it's a great opportunity also for me to present the superiority of the ideas and manifesto of the renewed hope agenda of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. It is not a mistake that it was Christian renewed hope, because if you watch what is going on right now in the country, and if you watch from where we started from, where this party, the APC, started from in 2015, you will understand that a lot of improvement have been made, but in the development of a nation, all of the presidential candidates, the front runners at one point or another, have mentioned that no single president can fix this country in the given tenure of either 4 or 8 years or complete 2 terms. So that is one side of it. But if you want to check from where we are coming from again, I think it is instructive again to observe that these 4 presidential candidates, the front runners, I'm talking about the Labour Party candidates, Mr. Peter Obi, Mr. Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Atiku Abubakar, and Rabiu Kwankwaso. It is very, very important for us to check the only unbiased criteria for us to choose and attest to the ability or capacity of any of the candidates to deliver, for us to look at what they have done in the past. They've all held public offices as governors and vice presidents. So I think it is very, very important for us to go back to the records and check. This is not about rhetoric. This is not just about a talking point. This is not just about public speaking. It's about the reality on ground, undeniable reality, verifiable realities of what has happened and what we are expecting as a result of the experiences we've had. Lagos State, for instance, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, nobody will deny the fact that Lagos State is the only state that is economically viable and independent in this country as we speak right now. And it has everything. It has the hand of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu on it. When he came into office in 1999, the IGR of Lagos State was 600 million. We should not shy away from these important issues. The IGR of Lagos was 600 million. It could barely pay civil servants' salaries. But 8 years down the line, he left the IGR at 5.5 billion. That was not a mistake. It was a deliberate action from the power of visioning and the ability to think and put up a perfect team that can make things happen. So that's one of the very important things that we need to look at. A team player that has a capacity and that has the agenda to make this country great. So that is about the selling point of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Experience and his capacity from the experience of what he has done in Lagos State compared to other candidates. I think that's just about the best.
All right, thank you very much. So I'm going to move over to you. I'm going to get back to, the conversations around your candidates. You just stated some of his antecedents, the things he's done as the past, as one of the governors of two-time governor of Lagos State. We're going to get to other issues that really bother some Nigerians as regards to your candidates. But quickly moving on to Maureen, tell me, we had the grand rally yesterday. Labour Party had the grand rally yesterday, and it was all over social media. And this was the final rally for the campaigns. Do you really think, with the numbers and the support so far, do you really think that Peter Obi stands a chance to actually really win this election? Yeah, we're going to win this elections, no doubt, with a landslide. We have told everyone, and we mean it, and we're going to make it happen. We have been undermined. We have been underrated. We have been told that we do not have the experience. We have been told that we cannot do it. We have been told that we are new to the game. We have been told that, politics is not for, the young people. What do we know about politics? Right from when our principal, moved from the PDP, to the Labour Party. It's been, all of these comments, coming from APC, the Siamese twins, but however, we have news for them, and our principal has proven to be a man of great strength, strength of character, a man of great capacity, a competent man, a man who has the capacity to take us from consumption to production, a man of great courage. Do you know what it means to move from a supposedly leading party to an unknown party just in 8 months? And he's been able to become the conversation, even when the media wasn't courting him, even when the media was disregarding him, even when the media was calling all his, his supporters names. But now he is the beautiful bride. He has become the force. He has become the conversation. The reason why the world is keyed in into the next elections that is coming in 13 days' time is because of our principal, Mr. Peter Obi, a man who has great compassion and empathy. He embodies the 5 C's that you look for in a leader, a man who has offered himself, a man who keeps taking himself to the people, not a man who is running away from the people, not a man whom we don't see him talk to us, not a man who clearly tells us he's bigger than bigger than the country that he wants to govern. That's the reason why he cannot sit down and be questioned. But Peter Obi has made himself available to the people. Yesterday was electrifying. I came all the way from Abuja to Lagos. I had told myself that whenever the date for Lagos rally is fixed, I, Maureen Barriat-Kabrak, would be in attendance in that rally. Because for me, Lagos must understand that at the end of it all, their people are speaking, and they are speaking loudly. And they're saying that whom they have had as a godfather in Lagos for 23 years, they're going to retire him and all the structures that they have around them. And not just that, we, the people of Nigeria, we're also speaking loudly that we're not just going to retire the one godfather that has lasted for 23 years, but that we're going to retire the entire establishment of APC that has held us in captivity, that has kept us in poverty, that has weaponized poverty, that even went ahead to steal palliatives that was given to citizens, not by them. It was bought by corporate bodies.
They hoarded it. Some even had their faces on it, waiting to use it for their birthdays. So that particular, these two Siamese twins that have brought us nothing but pain, when you said the past 2 weeks have been hellish. No, hero. The past 8 years has been hellish. For Nigerians, there is no longer a middle class in Nigeria. It has been erased completely. And that is why we want to erase the APC too, so that we can begin to have a Nigeria that will function, a Nigeria that will work for all, a Nigeria that when we come out and we say we're Nigerians, people will be proud to hold that green passport, as our principal said, at Chatham House. And that is why we spoke loudly yesterday. The atmosphere, and I'm sure Lagos, Nigeria, and the world over heard us, and they heard us loudly.
All right. Thank you very much, Maureen. I can feel the passion, and I could feel where you were coming from. Also, your candidate has a lot of youths and young people rallying around him. How would you say his popularity is amongst the older demography? And also, how would you rate his popularity in other parts of Nigeria? You know, there has been conversations around that in the grassroots in the north might not necessarily subscribe to P2B simply because of they probably haven't heard enough of him.
You know, that's just the propaganda that the APC always put out. But our principal rounded up his rally yesterday in Lagos after he had visited all the other states, Abuja inclusive. And we all saw the turnout of people from the streets. Organic love, pure love. I come from Southern Kaduna. Going to Southern Kaduna was a last-minute decision from what I learned from the party. But when they got to Southern Kaduna, what did you see? My people showed up. Because for so many years, we have been disadvantaged. For so many years, we have been looking for a leader who will come and speak to us and tell us, I share in your pain. For so many years, we have been dislodged from our farms, from our lands. And he took himself there, and you saw the love. I have a supplier who supplies me products in Abuja. So when people say, oh, they don't know him in the north. He sent me 4 voice notes yesterday, day before yesterday, because I came in from Abuja for in-house. I wish I could play it here for the world to hear. Deep words that he had for APC and PDP, PDAPC. And he said, Madam, I'm not sure I'm allowed to speak Hausa on the show here, but I would have said a few of his lines in Hausa. But he said, we're waiting. Myself, my family, my community, because he comes from Sokoto State. He imports products into the country. Now he can no longer do that because of the rate of exchange. Normally he will go back to Sokoto during the farming season. Then when the farming season is over, he comes back to Abuja and carries on importation of, you know, the foreign goods he brings in. But it's practically impossible. He can't go to farm. Now he can't bring his products because dollars are not accessible to him. So what do you want people like? So there are, I tell you, the silent voters are in the majority. They are in that demography that you just mentioned, because we live in a cruel country where people are afraid to speak up. So people who are in that demography, probably because they built businesses, or they just, oh, okay, you know, I'm still a civil servant, I don't want to talk, oh, this, that. But trust me, they will hear them loud and clear. They have made up their minds, and 25th, those silent voters, that demography will march to their polling units, and with their PVCs, Peter's Voters Card, as we have named it, they will make their choice for a new order, for a new Nigeria that we have said is possible. Thank you.
Okay, so Ahmed, I can see that you've been itching to talk. Let's take it from our conversation before we moved on to Maureen. You mentioned some of the antecedents of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Yes. Some people would argue that, you know, where Lagos is and what Lagos is was not simply just built by Bola Ahmed Tinubu. It was a collective effort of a lot of individuals. Taking it from that angle, your candidate is part of the ruling party. Yes. How difficult has it been selling his candidacy, knowing fully well that usually a ruling party is supposed to campaign on the goodwill or the existing goodwill of what the current president has done.
Okay.
But we've seen a discrepancy. You know, initially your candidate came out to say we'll consolidate on what Buhari has done. And then we've heard some people from your party say, okay, some people in our party are trying to sabotage whatever is going on. So can you deal with that current crisis, and why should Nigerians believe your candidates?
Okay, well, I think we need to look at this issue again, like I said earlier, from where we are coming from. That is the experiences we've had with all these candidates. Where we are currently and where we are going, talking about their manifesto. No single party, no ruling party in the whole world would want to work against itself. APC took over in 2015. From 2016 up till 2021 December, the usual fuel queues that we used to have in filling station never existed between 2016 and 2021. No party or no candidate or no government would want to jeopardize its chances in a year of election to now inflict upon itself this kind of crisis we are right now. What am I trying to say in essence? When this whole thing happened, you see there is this issue of the conspiracy that has been said from different quarters. I expected that while this issue was going on, a candidate, Atiku Abubakar, Peter Obi and the rest of them, that have been speaking about standing on the side of the people, will come out and stand on the side of people on all their campaign platform to hold the microphone and say Nigerians are suffering. CBN, reverse this thing. Are you that prepared to do what you are to do to implement this policy? Have you done this? Have you done that? If they had kept quiet, it's a different thing. But they were leading the CBN on. We all heard from the Kaduna State Governor, Nasir El-Rufai, is better informed. He said some people in the government, non-state actors, were conniving with some other people who perhaps were aggrieved about the outcome of the APC primaries, and they are doing this to Nigeria. So the utterances of Mr. Peter Obi and Atiku Abubakar on the ground that they were saying Nigerians should endure, Nigerians who are the filling station, it took Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu and APC governors to even play the role of opposition on behalf of the opposition. They stood on the side of the people. You just had the CBN governor saying that there's not enough paper to even print new notes after the advisory from the
they have debunked that.
No.
I saw it on your news.
Wait, they debunked. They say anybody would debunk anything, depending on how the public accepts. No, depending on how the public perceive it. This was the outcome of the Council of State meeting. Now, this went on and on, but I would just like to leave that aside and talk about where we're coming from, talking about what Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu did. Everybody's talking about Lagos. CNN talked about Lagos as one of the best destinations for tourism in 2022. 20 best tourist destinations, Paris, Tokyo, Los Angeles inclusive. That was not a mistake. Every governor, you see, when these people talk about godfatherism and all that, every governor, including Peter Obi brought Willie Obiano from Fidelity Bank as MD Fidelity Bank. He was never in government. He brought him and imposed it on the people of Anambra State. Willie Obiano became governor. A year down the line, they had issues. Allegedly, because Peter Obi, the money that he said he saved in banks, was meant to be shared on the 19th of October 2016. On the 19th of October 2016, Willie Obiano came out. It's in the newspapers. It's everywhere. That Peter Obi demanded for 7.5 billion from him as money he used to sponsor him for the governorship. Willie Obiano was not known to anybody in governance. Peter Obi refused to conduct local government elections 7 years and 10 months. He conducted local government election in Anambra State 2 months before he left office. That is not somebody that is prepared for governance at the top level. Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu was governor in Lagos State. He conducted local government election 3 times in the space of 8 years and created 36 LCDA so that governance will get to the grassroots. These are things we should be talking about, not these rhetorics about somebody is coming to say. There's no substance in appearing in all social media, in all media houses, churches or everywhere, and start talking about what I will do, what I will do. Meanwhile, you were governor for 8 years. What is the situation of Anambra today? If you say Tinubu was godfather in Lagos, has Lagos improved? The IGR of Lagos, that is just a simple indices for indicating what the progress of a country, of a state is. The IGR of Lagos was 600 million when he came. He left it after 8 years at 5.5 billion, established LIRS, established institutions, sustainable institutions that have grown that IGR to 57 billion as we speak. What is in Anambra? What has Peter Obi done in Anambra with Onitsha? One of the greatest assets that Africa can have. What has it done with Onitsha market? He is in Lagos, he lives in Lagos, attend night vigils in Lagos, does his family, his children, lives in Lagos. Anambra State is there. He doesn't do anything in Anambra. So this issue about we stand for Nigeria, we do this, and when we come, we're going to do. What have you done with the opportunity you were given in the past? Let's leave literacy and talk about the germane issues. Okay, so I'm going to allow Maureen to react to that, but before that, let's quickly get to Abuja, where Idris Ibrahim Kalgo, the national team lead, Atiku Youth Wing for PDP, is standing by. Hello, Idris. Welcome to the show.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. So let's jump quickly straight into it. Your candidate has made certain promises to Nigerians. Why should we believe your candidate?
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, we all need to understand who Atiku Abubakar is. Without Atiku Abubakar, you and I won't be having this conversation because there will be no more democracy in Nigeria. This is somebody that have fought for democracy for quite long years ago. Atiku Abubakar simply means democracy. Without Atiku Abubakar, we won't be having this election now because by now, maybe Obasanjo will have still be the president by now. But because he's a true Democrat, he stood on firm and said, okay, no, enough is enough. Democracy, 4 years for 4 years. Highest time you can go is 2 times. Atiku Abubakar is the only candidate so far now among the whole major candidates who, if you check back, go back to history and check properly, you understand that Atiku Abubakar, in one way or the other, have helped the youths. This is the only candidate who carried the youth along. Look at what happened from 1999 to 2007. What are his achievements? Has he failed any one of them? No. Then you understand that, okay, he's a man of his words. It's so unfortunate. My sister, I think she's a poet. She reminds me of this program where kids tells by moonlight. You know, Nigeria is not, it's more than what you think of. It's not just about a candidate who believes in social media. No. We need a candidate who can stand for us. More especially the situation we find ourselves in this country now. Insecurity, bad education, unity. These are all the things that Atiku Abubakar is trying to bring back. So if you look closely, then you get to understand that he is the best candidate. He has the experience. He has done it before. We have seen it. He's not an amateur. And if you're talking about a new Nigeria, you should understand that Peter Obi, there's nothing, I don't think you can call Peter Obi new Nigeria or something else, because he just left, he was with the PDP just recently. And how old is he? That you guys are clamoring that he's a younger, he's a youth. I don't understand. So we all need to understand that it's beyond what we are thinking. It's a sinking ship. We need to understand that we need a true leader who can unite us, a leader who can bring back the old Nigeria that we know, the same Nigeria that we live in peace. Look at what happened. You can see what the PDP have done so far. And just compare between 1999 to 2007, then after when Buhari took over till date. What are the achievements? Everything is poor. So we all need to understand that this is about our future. we really need this man to be on the seat.
Okay, thank you very much. We're going to get into details. So we'll talk about education, insecurity, and these other areas that are very critical to ensure that we have the Nigeria that we all desire. But that will be right after this break. Stay with us. Don't just stand there teasing me. Now it's time to show and prove. Welcome back. This is Rubbin Minds. Before we went on the break, we were having a conversation, and it is the previous debate. And we've given the three political parties present here the opportunity to sort of sell their candidates, the Labour Party, PDP, and the APC. And I still have Idris standing by at Abuja. So we're going to continue that conversation. Idris, you had said that your candidate is the best for Nigeria. With the current crisis in the PDP, and he's known as the unifier. Atiku is being called the unifier. How much has that PDP crisis, the internal crisis, affected the concept of your candidate being the unifier?
Thank you. Is there any home there's no any conflict? That's one thing we all need to understand first. And if you look closely, how many of this conflict has Atiku solved so far? I think if you can count, if you can put at the mark of 1 to 10, you can say, okay, you have solved 9. That's an excellent job. And as you can all see closely, more especially like the G5, these are all governors who are aggrieved one way or the other. And then still go down to their states, you get to understand, and then you see clearly. The people in the states are struggling behind Atiku. So Atiku is the unifier, yeah, it's true, and that is going to unite us as one, Nigeria, as we all used to be before this current government come and put us in a hanky-panky mood. Atiku Abubakar is not just only the unifier. He's going to be a president for all. Not the kind of president that will just be for one-sided tribe or one-sided section of people. No. Why am I saying so? He's the only candidate, if you go to his house, you get to find out that everybody almost, you see an Igbo man freely living in his house, an Yoruba man living freely in his house, a Hausa man, and a Fulani man, a Tibi man. Most of his domestic workers are not even Fulani, no Hausas. So this is the kind of man that we want, because he believes in competency. If you want to work with Atiku, deliver, and then you get the job. That's the kind of president that we want. Not the president that will say, okay, you are my brother. Okay, you are my tribe. Oh, no, we're the same religion. No. We are on a sinking ship. At this point, what we need Atiku Abubakar, the unifier.
Okay, we're going to quickly just talk about endorsements and how much it affects elections. Your candidate was vice president under Olusegun Obasanjo, and the former president has endorsed Peter Obi. How has that affected your campaign?
Not in any way. We don't even see that as a headline. Obasanjo have only 1 vote.
No, but people would believe that if somebody that he has worked with very closely does not endorse him, how are Nigerians supposed to trust his authenticity?
Atiku's fault, it's simply because he stopped the 3rd term. And he would do it not even for Obasanjo, for even himself. He's fighting for democracy. He's fighting for you and I. He's fighting for our future. So that's the only crime Atiku committed.
All right. So moving on, let's speak specifics. Currently, we have the highest number of out-of-school children. Our educational sector is really in shambles, and it's almost as if it's worse off. In fact, it is worse off under the government of APC. And this is not. I'm trying as much as possible so it doesn't look like anybody's partisan here. We're stating facts and we're stating figures. Unemployment rates has also worsened. rates. I think it's about 33%, with the highest youth unemployment ever. I'm going to direct the question to you, the candidates, the representative of the APC. But before we go to that, let me quickly introduce Segun Ebitomi, who is a member of the Labour Party Presidential Campaign Council. Welcome to the show.
Nice having me here. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming. So, Ahmed.
Yes.
Your candidate is obviously campaigning under the ruling party.
Yes.
Specifically, what will he do about education, and how will he solve this educational crisis that we're having in this country?
Okay, I would like to speak to that from two different angles, or three if you like. First was what he did when he was governor of Lagos State, the innovative ideas he brought about. He was the first governor in Nigeria where, you know, the PDP rep was talking about the tribalized, all that. You know, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu was one of the foremost Nigerian in governance, in democracy, not the military era, in democracy, that has shown the highest level of acceptability and hospitality to everybody, all tribes and ethnicity in Nigeria, religiously too. Now, in Lagos State, he paid, the first governor to pay NECO and WAEC fee for all secondary school SS3 students. It has never happened in any state. It never happened before then, and it hasn't happened up till now. He also paid for JAMB fee for students who have passed their WAEC. He did that as a governor. That was unprecedented. That innovation has been sustained up till this moment. Now, the kind of legacy he left in Lagos was such that the 8-month ASU strike that we observe, ASU strike is perennial. It has been happening ever since. So no government should come. Like Mr. Peter Obi will go to every campus and say, you have been on strike. When he was governor, there was 13-month doctors and teachers strike in Anambra State. So nobody should come and cajole us about ASU strike, 8-month ASU strike. In Lagos, Lagos State has 3 universities as we speak. None of those universities joined the strike. They maintained their normal academic calendar, uninterrupted academic calendar as we speak. That is a legacy that he left. Now, talking about education, what he has planned to do, especially as it affects the students. It is only in the manifesto of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the APC presidential candidate, that you have something called the student loan. The Labour Party and the PDP do not have that in their manifesto. Okay, maybe they redid it because there were 2 manifestos. One was brought about in the Labour Party, and in the PDP manifesto and Labour Party manifesto, the last time I checked, none of it has student loan. And he came up to break it down and said, well, if I become president, there has been issues of students who are brilliant, indigent students who could not get advanced their education at the university or tertiary education level. He said there's going to be loan, just like it's been done in advanced economy, like in the US and elsewhere. You are going to have a loan that will not disturb your academic attainment, and afterward, you have the opportunity to pay. There's one very important thing that happened in this party, because the Asiwaju Bola Ahmed is running on the platform of the APC. This government did something unprecedented in 84 tertiary institutions in this country as we speak. Under the Federal Ministry of Works and Housing, something unprecedented happened. They built internal road networks and infrastructures for those tertiary institutions. These are verifiable. I can name all the universities offhand right now. Okay. Federal Tertiary Institution, Polytechnic, University, and Polytechnic. These are supposed to be the duties of the management of those universities, not even the Federal Ministry of Education. But this happened. So people should not come and just cajole us and talk to the youth or talk to students or youth and say, okay, because they have the largest demography, okay, so ASU strike will not happen. When they were given mandates in their previous, they were given mandate previously, strikes happened, ASU strike happened, doctor strike happened, teacher strike happened.
Okay, so I'm going to allow Segun to react to that. You are a member of the Labour Party Presidential Campaign Council. All right, so he had said certain things, but as much as possible, we want you to speak for your principle, his antecedents on education and what his plans are moving forward for Nigeria.
Okay, thank you very much. It's a wonderful pleasure to be here and have some really cerebral discussions. Too much of what is going on is just a lot of personality smearing and co. The truth of the matter is that the problem of Nigeria is the problem of all of us. We are all responsible for where we are today. And if we are going to get out of it, we all have to play our part. So the first thing I would like to say is the opportunity that His Excellency Peter Obi is not just as a result of his person, is more as a result of the process that is bringing him. I'm a student of process engineering, and the adage is that a process is perfectly designed to produce the result it produces. So it's not so much about the person of Peter Obi. It's more about the process that is bringing him. And on the other hand, too, it's not so much about the process of Asiwaju Tinubu or Alhaji Atiku. It's about the process that will bring them. Because that was the same way we trusted Buhari, because he was somebody of character, but the process that brought him eventually defeated all of us, including himself. So, but speaking to the specifics now, when Peter Obi was in Anambra State, the records are there. He met education at 26th, he left it at 1st. He was the only governor that was given the Bill Gates Prize for Health. He built the fastest teaching hospital. There are lots of big words, big things thrown around. In Nigeria, we believe too much in physical structures. Physical structures do not make people. I can give you an example. There are 30,000 primary healthcare centers in Nigeria. 30,000. 1 million children die every year. 2 every minute. By the time you finish your show in 1 hour, 60 children has died. And there are 30,000 primary care centers. So it's not about how much structures were built or how much buildings or roads or this. The question is, how has the life of the people improved? I can refer you to a website that showed the Human Development Index during the Peter Obi's tenure, how health improved, how education improved, how life expectancy improved, and how he pulled people out of poverty. These are the 4 things that are important. If there are no structures in Nigeria, but every Nigerian is educated, is healthy, is out of poverty, we will have a great country. We could have all the best structures. If Nigerians are dying and they are not educated, we will still have one of the poorest countries. That's what I'll say for now. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. I'm going to connect right now with Destiny Asen, who is the Senior Special Assistant to the Governor of Delta State on Entertainment. Welcome, Destiny. All right.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so your colleague has spoken about how Alhaji Atiku Abubakar plans to improve on education. So real quickly, we want to move on to insecurity. We already know the state of this nation when it comes to security. What is your candidate going to do about that?
First of all, I'd like to say that His Excellency has a massive plan about police reform, state police. Nigeria needs state police because I think Nigeria, the number of the citizens outnumbers the number of security personnel. So I think we need to recruit more police men and women and more personnel in the armed forces. And I think that is what His Excellency is planning to do when it comes to security in Nigeria. And to add to that, the best way to secure our country is to make use of the locals. If you have the people in Yobe should be the policemen. They should be the ones on ground. That's the only way that we're going to solve the problem of insecurity, because they understand their terrain. But when you're running a federal police system whereby you send a policeman who is from Adama to work in Enugu, there will be lots of crashes. So I think the best is to restructure, reform the Nigerian police and other security agencies, and recruit as many Nigerians as possible.
Conversation of having a state police in the mix for your candidate? Again? Destiny, I said it's the conversation of having a state police I say, is the conversation of having a state police in the mix for your candidate?
I said one of the easiest way His Excellency has come up with, one of his templates on how to solve these security issues in Nigeria is the creation of the state police,
All right. Okay, Ahmed, same question goes for you in security. Your candidate is running under the platform of APC.
Yes.
And we've seen the results. It doesn't look like APC has done so much with security.
Okay, talking from the angle about what my candidate, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, did in Lagos. Lagos was like the crime center of Nigeria, if you like, before 1999, when he took over. But you see, he was talking about state police. It's just one of the instrumentalities of bringing about security or tackling insecurity in the state. There is a police formation called RRS, Rapid Response Squad, in Lagos. You would think these policemen, with the level of equipment, communication gadgets, and the kind of weaponry that they have, and the training that they have, you would think they are different from the usual or the normal policemen that we have in Nigeria. But they were extracted from the Nigerian police, retrained, re-equipped by the state government, funded through the Lagos State Security Trust Fund. You see, these are institutions. These are things that are sustainable. That is why even people from the other party will say, if anybody, even a secondary school dropout, comes to become the governor of Lagos State, he will perform, because there are structures on ground. There are institutions, sustainable institutions that works. So the Lagos State Security Trust Fund has made it possible for the state government to fund the RRS, and they are everywhere. That is why it was easy. So, but one of the major things, one of the major factors of bringing about or curbing insecurity is the provision of job. Most of these things that are happening, you can see Lagos State, when I talked about the insecurity or the miscreants and everything that was in Lagos pre-1999, most of these guys that were operating Molue, that were in different shanties here and there, most of them were retrained. Most of them were absorbed from the society.
When you said retrained, what do you mean?
Yeah, they were absorbed from the society, given proper orientation. And some of them are even in these agencies, like LASMA and some of these other places. You know, so they were given proper, some of these people were not just, they found themselves where they were as whatever they were doing, not because it was what they wanted, but it was because of what the society presented. But somebody came with a vision. Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he came with a vision, and it changed everything to what it is today in Lagos as one of the most secure states in Nigeria. Now, what the party has done, this APC has done since 2015. Before 2015, a huge part of the Northeast was taken over by Boko Haram with their flags here and there. Now, security is a moving target. It's not just insecurity is a moving target. If you want to solve it, you can't just solve it by saying, okay, because you cop this one. It will always pop up in one way or the other. Now, Boko Haram has been decimated. People can have other views, but Boko Haram has ended. We have another challenge in our hands, and that is banditry, the kidnapping and some other things that are going on. But the main issue about Boko Haram, this government has solved, and a lot of jobs have also been created. It will pull people out of poverty.
We're running out of time. There's a conversation I wanted us to have, because you did say that some people, were pulled out and they were retrained and reabsorbed into
I know you
the
had
system.
a personal
but no, it's nothing personal. I just wanted to state the obvious. But quickly, because of our time, we're going to move on to Segun. So Segun, tell me, what plans?
Okay, as I said, it's more of the process than the product. So I was talking about that process re-engineering that is going on. Politically, Nigeria's history is such that a candidate will come, I can do this, I can do that. He will bring a top-down strategy, dole out money as much as he can, and we will vote for him, and we will go and sleep and wait for him to do whatever he thinks he can do. But the Labour Party movement, now the obedient movement, it started even before Peter Obi declared for president. That is the thing. So it's a bottom-up movement. We are the ones that are saying this is how we want our country to do. We are actually the ones running through Peter Obi. So insecurity is more of the people's problem, not any one person's problem. There are two ends of insecurity. There's the latent part, people who don't have jobs, who don't have food, who don't have education, who don't have health care, can result to criminality. So with a government that squeezes out corruption, like a Peter Obi-led Labour Party government, and reinvest this in improving education like he did in Anambra State, that latent criminality will be substantially reduced. And evidence, when he was in Anambra State, he was given the safest state 5 years consecutively. The records are there. So he has done it. And the system we are bringing will even enable him to do it easier because we, the people, are involved. So there will be, it is his data when he came back from Egypt about the police to citizen ratio that everybody is now quoting, including the PDP. So one of the things we've achieved as a party, we have deepened the conversation. We have provided content. We have provided context. We have provided data. So you now see everybody quoting data, everybody extrapolating, and it is all by His Excellency Peter Obi and the obedient movement being involved. So our security plan is comprehensive, is total, is both on the active side and on the latent side.
All right,
and
thank you.
With evidence.
Thank you very much. Apparently, there are lots of issues that we still need to discuss, but we're running out of time. So quickly, I want us to get to the final words. Idris, so you have exactly just 60 seconds to sell your candidate. Come February 25th, Nigerians, you need to convince Nigerians in 60 seconds. So your final words.
Thank you. The Excellency Atiku Abubakar has a master plan. It's going to be an every Nigerian. But the youth, the women, the old age, this is our time. We have suffered a lot. Insecurity, bad education, strike all the time, bad health sector, everything is running down. We are on a sinking ship. This is the time to recover. Nigeria have suffered a lot. We are tired. The youth are calling for a change, but not the fake change. The real change from His Excellency Atiku Abubakar. I am urging the Nigerian youth to stand with Atiku Abubakar because he promised to give the Nigerian youth 40% of his cabinet, which no candidate have ever done so. And if you look closely, you will see that he's working with the youths all around him. Okay. That's a man who is truly going to stand for us with the Nigerian youths and everybody in charge. And we should understand that February 25th is a day whereby your PVC is going to be the new revolution.
All right.
Through by voting His Excellency Atiku Abubakar, Waziri Adamawa. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ahmed, 60 seconds.
Yes, thank you very much. I think it is very important for Nigerian youth to take their time. Let's take our time to stay off the, like Governor Rabiu Kwankwaso said, the Andrew Liversalt effect and the social media buzz. I think it is proper that we should understand that Nigeria didn't start in 2015. Nigeria started, or this Fourth Republic started in 1999. So
apologies,
very, very important
we're out of time.
that we vote for Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the next president.
Thank you, Shegun.
Okay, so
you barely have 30 seconds because I have to wrap up.
What I would just tell Nigerians is that the matter to be decided now is not between three candidates. It's between you and your conscience. Work with a system that is driven by the people and is going to put in your president that will work for you, rather than what we've always had, where somebody claims to know what they want to do, and they have never done that, and they come and do whatever they think is best. So the challenge is for the Nigerian youth: take your destiny in your hands, take back your country.
Okay, speaking about destiny, Destiny, your final words?
I'd like to specially appeal to every young Nigerian to pay attention and to vote His Excellency, a man who is vastly experienced in oil and gas, imports, entrepreneur, and in every aspect. This is somebody who has been a custom officer and has been a businessman for a very long time. He's vastly experienced in every aspect of governance. Atiku Abubakar is very calm, collected, and is a diplomat to the core. Nigeria at this point needs somebody who is a diplomat to take this country to the next level, because this election will either take us forward or move us backward. Right. The choice is ours, and the choice we'll make is for the unborn children, the next generation, our family, and ourselves. Let's vote His Excellency Atiku Abubakar, a unifier, a man who is peaceful to the core. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And I'd like to say a big thank you to all my guests. Thank you, Ahmed.
Thank you.
A big thank you to you, Shagun. Thank you, Destiny. And of course, thank you, Idris. And also, Maureen, thank you so much for gracing our show. We're just 14 days away. 14 days away. My closing remark would be the same as my opening remark, which is whomever you vote, make sure is a candidate that will promote equity, a candidate that will promote justice, fairness, and the candidate, most importantly, that has respect for the rule of law. My name is Hero Daniels, and I'll see you next time.
Really wanna get with you. Don't just stand there teasing me. Now it's time to show